right, good morning, you guys. It is time for your health check. You know, May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And so this month I'm going to be touching specifically on health issues in these communities. But I want you all to listen because there's a lot that's relatable across the board here, starting with not knowing your family history. So this happens a lot in Asian families, especially if you're first or second generation, and maybe your parents or grandparents are immigrants.
In other countries, the medical system is different, so there may not be accurate ways of knowing. That's where genetics really helps. And we find out what their genetic risks are for certain things. But remember, just knowing your genetic risk is not enough. I mean, it's the combination of genetics and our environment.
Dr. Shahan Chowdhury is a board-certified family medicine physician in Frisco. Her passion is how to prevent heart attacks and strokes. She says basic genetic testing can help you to fill in some gaps, but once you take the time to do that testing and surveillance, you've got to mitigate what comes up for you by choosing healthy lifestyle options and creating positive habits. It really all starts with taking the time to understand what patterns have come up with other family members.
I have a couple of sayings. You don't know what you don't know, and you won't know until you find out. So yeah, taking a really good family history as best you can really is a great guidance.
Dr. Chowdhury says if your parents are still alive, sit down with them, ask them, what do you remember? What can you tell me about health issues of each of our family members, whether it's heart attack, stroke, specific cancer, anything else? It really can help not just you, but your children or future children and your grandchildren as well. You know, Mark, I can really relate to this. My parents are immigrants. We were talking about this. My grandparents, most of my aunts and uncles, cousins, everyone still lives overseas. So I really don't have a ton of information still, only what my parents were able to tell me. But through conversations, I did learn that there's leukemia in the family, breast cancer in the family, heart disease in the family, dementia and Alzheimer's in the family. So there's a lot more that I was able to learn through conversations. Still a lot more I have to learn, but that really drove a lot of my health habits.
Oh yeah, when you look at risk factors, hereditary incidences of some of those things you mentioned, your risk factors can go through the roof. I know that for my family, you just have access to some of that stuff if you just know how to ask. And I had some conversations recently with my mom about, you know, relatives that I had, and was just kind of blown away by some of the history there. And I'm like, I got to write this down, make a list.
Yeah.
Hand it to my doctor.
Yeah, and your wife's health history too, because that's going to impact your kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Good reminder.
And we're going to talk more about this, of course, all month long.